we're going to be talking about the truth about fat burners. And I'm often asked, Vince, which ones are hype, which ones work? If you've ever experimented with fat burners, you know that they promise the world, but when it comes time to deliver results, they often simply just come up short. I take this topic very seriously, and the least of your concerns are supplement companies laughing behind their back after they've taken your hard-earned money. There's much more at stake here, and that's what I want to talk about. Most fat-burning products are sold under the counter under a variety of names, from fat burners, from thermal formulas, metabolic boosters, reducing agents. This one here, this one's called the 24-hour fat burning system. And the fat burners that do work contain drugs such as ephedrine and caffeine, which are both very, very powerful stimulants. And yes, they are drugs. However, what supplement manufacturers do is they take the herbal forms of those. For example, caffeine comes from a plant called guarana, and ephedrine comes from a plant called mahung, and they put it into their products so they can market it as natural and they can market it as herbal. If you want me to drop some names, some of the popular fat burners on the market today, Lipo 6, Hot Rocks, Syntrax, Hydroxycut, all use forms of mahung, guarana, ephedrine, caffeine, and these are the ones you want to be aware of. I could go on all day. The list will never stop. Fat burners are here to stay. Let's learn a little more about them. The reality is that fat burners will work in the short term, but they're not going to work in the long term. And that's why most people only experience short-term success, because they're thinking of short-term solutions. Fat burners can increase your metabolism up to 10% per day, which is very effective when you're on a low caloric diet. When you're at the lowest of calories, you're putting out the most energy through exercise, and you're taking in the least calories your body can possibly consume through diet. That's when a fat burner can be considered, because it will boost it 10% and help you burn those last few pounds of fat off. For all other cases, it's rarely very, very unnecessary. Fat burners also have a diuretic effect, which leads to water loss and also suppresses your appetite by manipulating your brain neurotransmitters. They'll also increase your heart rate. That's why when you start taking one, you'll notice that you start sweating sooner in your workout. They also can cause headaches, and they can also cause tremors and some of the more intermediate side effects. On the extreme end, the reality is that fat burners can cause strokes and they can cause deaths. I'm comfortable in saying that, this doesn't happen every day, but with people who have high blood pressure, have heart conditions, I highly recommend you don't mess around with fat burners whatsoever. Consult your doctor for obvious reasons, and be aware that the extreme cases of stroke and death rarely only occur with those isolated individuals. But still, don't fool yourself that they do play on your heart rate and they do play on your blood pressure. So, just to summarize, if you're at special risk for high blood pressure, heart conditions, don't mess with fat burners. If you're not, you might be able to experiment with them a little, but again, don't fool yourself. You are messing with two very, very important systems in your body, and it might not be worth it unless you're a very, very, very competitive athlete, or you're a competitive bodybuilder, fitness model, and your livelihood is on the line. What you do to your health should be related to how serious you are with your goals. Let's consider why fat burners are so effective. The reality is that they're not going away. They're here to stay, and it's important for you to learn to discern and learn how to make wise decisions and determine whether these are for you. Again, I'm mainly concerned with people who use these because they can create some very harmful long-term effects. It's important to understand that fat burners are here to stay, and one of the main reasons is because fat loss is a very emotional topic, and marketers know this. They know that your heartstring is attached to your wallet string. They're going to keep tugging on that heartstring till your wallet pops out. They know that the reason you want to lose fat is because you want to look sexy on the beach. You want to attract the opposite sex. You want to turn heads. You want your own self-respect, etc. So they know this, and they're going to continue marketing these reasons for why you should buy these fat-burning products. Second of all, is that fat-burning products do work in the short term. And whenever you see a short-term result, you're going going to get attached to that feeling of results, and you're going to keep buying it. And the third reason why fat-burning supplements are here to stay is because they are very addictive. Just like recreational drugs, when these are taken for long periods of time, your body becomes dependent on them. So when you come off of them, it creates energy loss and withdrawal symptoms, which can be very, very depressing and very frustrating, which causes you to go back onto them, which causes long-term health problems. Since this classic addiction is 100% natural, supplement companies can make a fortune. Okay, before I wrap up here, I just want to make a note that the reality is that a lot of people use fat burners. And I'm going to admit, in the last 4 weeks of a contest, I'm going to experiment with some ephedrine and caffeine myself. And I've done this before, and I'm going to give you some recommendations on how to do this safely so that you don't hurt yourself. Now realize this advice is for people who are males pushing single-digit body fat, guys who are going to get up on stage. This isn't to burn a quick 10-15 pounds of body fat because you've been slacking all winter. This is for people who are dialed into their diet programs. You've hit a 90% threshold in your training and your nutrition. This is when your metabolism's at its all-time low because of your energy output and because of your low calories. Taking some ephedrine and caffeine is going to spike your metabolism and help you burn those last few pounds of fat off. What I recommend doing is just buying 25 milligram ephedrine tablets and 200 milligram caffeine tablets, and starting off with just taking maybe one caffeine tablet a day before your workout and monitor that for an entire week. The next week, you can take an ephedrine, 25 mils with your caffeine, and monitor that for an entire week. Then you can progress to 50 grams of ephedrine with your 200 milligram of caffeine, and do that for your third week. So you want to do it progressively. You want to listen to your body. You don't want to throw it all at your body all at once. That's what can cause some problems. There has been research that shows that there are guys who take up to 75 milligrams of ephedrine plus 200 milligrams of caffeine together up to 3 times a day for up to 6 months with no problems whatsoever. Don't bank on the fact that you might be that one case that has no problems. I still recommend starting off on the far beginner part of the continuum and moving slowly, listening to your body. And if you don't feel comfortable taking it, if you're feeling too shaky, if your head's pumping too much, then that's a sign to get off of them, and your body's probably not meant to take them. With the ephedrine caffeine too, if you are going to use it, make sure you cycle it. I typically go 2 days on, 1 day off, or 3 days on, 1 day off. And there's other ways of doing it. Some guys do 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Again, it's something you're going to have to experiment with. But again, these recommendations are only for people who are 4 weeks out from a competition, who've already dialed down to the lowest of lows, and are ready to just push that last bit of fat off. Just to summarize, guys, fat-burning supplements are good maybe for the short term, bad for the long term, and everyone listening here, I'm assuming, wants long-term results, not short-term results. So focus on the things that make the big difference: nutrition, diet, and lifestyle, and realize that fat-burning supplements are a surefire way of making lots of money for supplement companies because they can be marketed as cheap, they can be marketed as safe, and they can be marketed with a lot of emotional, hypey advertisements. And those are 3 things you want to be aware of. If you want to find out the real supplements that are truly going to make a difference, which are only a few, make sure you download my Your Six Pack Quest program. Included in the package is a bonus product called the Supplement Watch Files, and this is where I disclose the top 3 supplements that your body needs, and it has nothing to do with fat burning ones. They're the only supplements that you should really invest your money into, and I talk about all the ones that are wasting time, wasting money. We'll see you soon for another video.
To know more and get access to the best fat loss program, click on the link given below this video in the description.